This video is sponsored by Card Trader, a global marketplace where you can buy and sell TCG cards like the Pokemon trading card game. Please use my code POPNIGHT24 at checkout where you can get 5% off your first purchase. A link will be in the description below. Thank you again to Card Trader for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Flygon EX from the Surging Sparks expansion set. Flygon EX is a Stage 2 Fighting type Terra Pokemon with 310 HP, 1 retreat cost, and it is weak to grass. It has 2 cool attacks. The first one is basically our main focus for today. For single fighting energy, Reversing Storm deals 130 damage, after which you may choose to switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. I have seen some hit and run combo variations of this that utilizes defensive support Pokemon, such as Cornerstone Ogerpon EX, Mimikyu, or even the new Milotic EX, all of which have their respective abilities that can prevent damage from attacks, and it's a nice way to wall off attacks, but it can be very slow paced as well. And that's why today I'm going for a little bit more of an aggressive combo. We're still doing a hit and run combo, however we'll be switching this PECHARUNT into the active spot after we attack. This has the Toxic Subjugation ability, which changes the poison damage between Pokemon checkup on your opponent's poison Pokemon, increasing it to 6 damage instead of 1. And the easiest way to put the poison special condition on your opponent's Pokemon is with the help of this Brute Bonnet with the Toxic Powder ability. As long as you have the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached to this Pokemon, you can poison both active Pokemon. Although this ability also poisons your active, we can actually use that to our advantage. That is with the help of Binding Mochi. If your Pokemon is poisoned, this tool card will increase its attack damage even more by 40. So this will be our combo. While Flygon EX is in the active spot, you poison both active Pokemon with Brute Bonnet, your attack increases with Binding Mochi attached to Flygon, and then when you switch it to the bench, the poison on Flygon will be removed, keeping it nice and healthy. And of course, after you switch PECHARUNT into the active spot, the poison will increase, dealing even more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And for the most part, your opponent will probably just knock out this PECHARUNT, but just in case they don't, I'll be utilizing Latias EX's ability, Skyliner. This gives all of your basic Pokemon 0 retreat cost, so you can just retreat PECHARUNT to Flygon EX again and just keep attacking. Now, Flygon EX also has a second attack called Sonic Peridot. For 1 water, 1 fighting, and 1 metal energy, this attack deals 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. So it doesn't matter if they're on the active or the bench, they will receive damage. This attack can be useful in very rare occasions, which is why I'm also using the Neo Upper Energy as my A-Spec card of choice, so that I can use it to energize the attack. But the big downside to this attack is that it can easily be blocked by defensive support Pokemon like Manaphy or Rabsca, or if your opponent uses Terra Pokemon. While they're on the bench, you cannot damage them because they have a built-in bench protection. And that's actually one of the main reasons you'll probably be using its first attack more than its second one. As for the other cards worth noting, I've included Perilous Jungle for my Stadium. This will increase the poison damage to any Pokemon that is not Dark type by 2 more damage every Pokemon checkup. Along with PECHARUNT's ability, you can increase the poison damage up to 80 damage. And that could even be enough to take out a low HP Pokemon. And finally, just as a precaution, I did add a copy of Mimikyu just in case you just want to avoid an attack. This could be a great way to do that thanks to its Safeguard ability, allowing it to receive no damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX or Pokemon V. So there you have it guys, Flygon EX. This hit and run combo is actually super cool since it's more aggressive to play, and you can even dunk people with the PECHARUNT Poison combo. And then when you knock out Pokemon with the poison during Pokemon checkup, it actually prevents your opponent from playing cards like Serendipity EX's ability since it is conditional. Overall, I really do think that this is the best way to play Flygon EX. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Flygon EX. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video, and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. Alright, on to our first match. We're going to start this one with a Trap Pinch. In the active spot, we got Brute Bonnet. My opponent will mulligan. And they will be going first in this matchup. We have a pretty decent opening hand. We got an Arven. We could get an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule with that. And with their mulligan, we get 1 extra card. Alright, cool. Okay, they will start with an Iron Bundle in their active spot. He's using Heavy Ball to search their prizes for a basic Pokemon. Exchange that card, and they got a Gimme Ghoul. So we're going against Gholdengo EX. So now it's our turn. Let me go ahead and use Arven first. Use Nest Ball. And For Seal Stone. Actually, let me get an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. I could start poisoning their active. So attach that. I could just use Latias EX to retreat Trapinch. Sometimes I'm very hesitant to put into play because it becomes a liability. Easy 2 prizes that your opponent can get. So now with PECHARUNT, I could just retreat Trapinch. But at 100 HP, we're not knocking it out. They could just retreat it. So I think I'm going to risk it and just use Call for Family. I can set up Pidgey and also Rotom V. I actually should have just set up Rotom V with that Nest Ball. That way I can just instant charge to draw 3 more. Maybe get a rare candy, but yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you think of a plan, but then you realize it's not a good one. So anyways, my opponent will evolve into Gholdengo EX, and they have not attached an energy on it yet. So we could get another turn here. But I'm going to go aggressive. I'm going to go ahead and start poisoning my opponent's Pokemon here. So I will use Toxic Powder, retreat, and then PECHARUNT will increase the poison to 6. And then we're just going to end our turn with Instant Charge, drawing us 3. And now, slowly but surely, Gholdengo EX is taking damage from that poison. All we have to do is get that rare candy, evolve into Pidgeot EX, and then we're well on our way. But if they do get an energy, they could probably just knock out our PECHARUNT. Then again, I could just recover it with Night Stretcher and then just keep poisoning them. So with Irida, they will grab Radiant Greninja. It has Concealed Cards ability where if you discard an energy from your hand, you can draw 2. And then they will also play the Earthen Vessel to get energy cards. So Gholdengo EX, if you didn't know, its attack only requires 1 metal energy, but depending on how many energies you discard from your hand, it will increase the damage output. They're going to use Iron Bundle to push our PECHARUNT back. I'm going to sacrifice Pidgey. So I need that poison, and then I need Rotom V to retreat. So as of right now, Pidgey is our weakest link. It's very unfortunate, but my opponent will take a knockout, hitting for 100 damage, discarding 2 energy cards. And we're just going to put our Trapinch in the active spot. Hopefully we get a good draw here. We got an Iono. I could use their Pokestop. Hopefully we get something. Ah, we got a Hisuian Heavy Ball. We got 1 rare candy there. Got my Pidgey. Might have to risk it and use Iono. I think I don't have a choice here. Okay, actually we could do this. We got 4 Seal Stone. I could get rare candy. We got an Ultra Ball. And then I could get Flygon EX with the Ultra Ball. Alright, that Iono draw was pretty insane. Alright. I'm happy with that. Let's go get our Flygon EX, rare candy. And then, yeah. Reversing Storm, 130. And then that 6 poison damage will finish off their Gholdengo EX, getting us our first 2 prizes. Not too bad, man. I actually really like this poison hit and run combo. The wall technique, it's alright, but very slow going. You know, and there's a lot of bosses in the format right now, counter catcher, things like that. So even if you do that, they could just target your Flygon or any of your support Pokemon on the bench. So that one's a little bit slower. This one though is very aggressive, and your opponent really gets pressured, especially with that 6 poison damage hitting them every single turn. So this PECHARUNT is this poison combo is actually really great, and I would prefer this over the other one. That's why I'm showcasing it, obviously. But anyways, We did get a knockout against their Gholdengo EX. They are trying to find another Gholdengo, possibly to evolve this Gimmighoul in their active. If not, we're just gonna poison it. We're gonna knock it out with poison. And the great thing about poison, guys, Pheasantipity EX, its ability actually depends on whether or not your opponent knocks out your Pokemon by a regular attack damage. But since we are knocking out their Pokemon by poison, they cannot use that ability because it's an effective an attack. It is not an attack damage. So we're gonna continue with this. Maybe they cannot draw into the cards they need. I'm just gonna instant charge poison, and with that 6 poison damage, knock out their Gimmighoul. We get another extra prize. We got rare candy. And there you go, guys. My opponent's having a hard time drawing into something. They could use their Radiant Greninja to discard an energy card to draw 2, but they cannot use their Pheasantipity. Pheasantipity EX is a huge part of this Gholdengo EX combination, because if you've never played against the Gholdengo, they can draw 2 in the active, and if they have a bunch of other Gholdengos, they can draw as much as 10 cards in a single turn, which is pretty insane. If you have Xerosic's Machination, that would really disrupt your opponent's Gholdengo build, because you'll reduce their hand size to 3. And they have no counter. They couldn't evolve into Gholdengo. They had no energy, and we survive another turn. And you know what, guys? We're gonna continue to poison their active and just keep knocking them out. And that's the beauty about this combo too. PECHARUNT and Brute Bonnet alone can take a lot of knockouts like this. It's insane. So, like what we did before, we're just gonna end our turn with the instant charge, knock out another Pokemon with poison, and yeah. I mean, Flygon is there to deal a little bit more damage, but the poison is doing its thing, guys. At 10 cards though, my opponent should be able to get something here. They must have, like, I don't know, an Ultra Ball to get Gholdengo. Okay, they got an Irida, so they can search their deck for an item card. And a water Pokemon, they got the Ultra Ball. Alright, they're gonna discard Lust, Vacuum, and a Nest Ball for a Gholdengo EX. There it is. But with no more backup attackers, we should be home free. And my opponent still needs 5 prizes to win this one. There's the 2 extra draws. Again, they cannot use their Pheasantipity EX. Okay, they're gonna use Night Stretcher to recover Gimmighoul. Okay. They cannot evolve that yet. And it might take us 2 turns to knock out this Gholdengo, because at 130, we're not dealing enough damage, actually. We can do it, knock it out, but with poison, it'll take at least 2 turns to knock out this Gholdengo. So the Skyliner will just help us to retreat our PECHARUNT. You could replace Latias with Rescue Board, but if your PECHARUNT gets knocked out, that Rescue Board will be gone. So Latias EX is definitely the better option, in my opinion. So my opponent will again take a knockout against our PECHARUNT, and we have free retreat, so Rotom V can go into the active. We got Pidgeot EX, finally. Now we can search our deck for any card that we want. Let's actually go ahead and use Quick Search here and then see what we could do. We could just grab another PECHARUNT, actually. So, what I can do is retreat into Flygon EX, poison my opponent's active, and then that hit and run, we can retreat back into PECHARUNT with increased poison damage. I'm gonna go ahead and use Reversing Storm to deal 130 damage to their Gholdengo, retreat back to PECHARUNT, and I forgot. I forgot to poison their Gholdengo. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine, actually. Because it actually requires them 2 energies to retreat Gholdengo. Maybe they can't even retreat this guy. I don't see any retreat or switch in their discard pile. Maybe they don't have a switch. Even if they retreat it, they cannot attack this turn because they'll have to attach an energy. They will use Counter Catcher and then get Latias EX into the active spot. They could take a knockout here. They'll take 2 prizes, but we will take our last prize by attacking with Flygon EX. Alright, they're just gonna use Make It Rain. And that's gonna be game, guys. They will attack. They could take a knockout here. They'll take 2 prizes, but you know what? We will end this game with Flygon. And we will just use Reversing Storm. Even add extra poison damage for that guaranteed knockout. There it is. Reversing Storm deals 130 plus 6 poison damage to take our last 2 prizes to win the game. And there you have it, guys. PECHARUNT with Flygon EX is pretty awesome. Good game. Alright, on to our next match. We are going to start this one with A-Trap Pinch in the active spot. Rotom V, safe and sound on the bench. And I am going first in this matchup. I do prefer going first, obviously, so we can set up our basic Pokemon, and you do have that potential to be able to evolve on your second turn and start attacking. And alright, we're going against Charizard EX, and we got an Ultra Ball from our first draw. That's awesome. So I'm just going to attach an energy, end my turn with Instant Charge, and go from there. My opponents cannot evolve on their first turn, going second into Charizard EX, so Trapinch is safe. They will put another Charmander on their bench to end their turn. Okay. Let me go ahead and use Ultra Ball, discard these 2. Hey, Mimikyu could actually be useful in this matchup because Charizard EX cannot go through its defenses unless they have Cancel and Cologne. Just grab Flygon EX here. And with Arven, I will use Buddy Buddy Poffin, get for Seal Stone, and then set up Mimikyu and Pidgey. I want to set up your Pidgeot EX as well so that you can grab whatever you want. But with Flygon EX now fully energized and ready to attack, we're just going to Reversing Storm to knock out their Charmander to get our first prize for this game. And we got Binding Mochi. Very nice. So with the Forest Seal Stone, since we cannot evolve our Pidgeot EX, we only played our Pidgey that turn. So never attach your Rotom V to, or never attach the Forest Seal Stone to Rotom V unless you are ready to use it. Otherwise, if your opponent has Lost Vacuum, you could lose it forever. But my opponent just evolves into Pidgeotto. That means no Pidgeot EX. They can't grab anything from their deck and they're just getting their turn. Okay. So with the Forest Seal Stone, I'm going to use Star Alchemy, get an Arven, so we can grab Rare Candy to evolve into Pidgeot EX and grab whatever we want. But no Rare Candy. They're all prized. That's crazy. Anyways, at least we got a Nest Ball. I get Latias, that way we can retreat Mimikyu. And keep attacking with Flygon EX. Knock out this Charmander, get another prize for that, and then run back to Mimikyu. And we got a 5 Ball. Okay. That's crazy. We got all of our candies and the prizes. But next turn, we can take our last knockout against this Pidgeotto and win the game. But no, they're going to go for an Ultra Ball. Get Pidgeot EX. Evolve. They can start using Quick Search. And they will recover their Charmanders back to their deck. I mean, Pidgeot EX is resistance to fighting. It might take a while for us before we can knock it out, actually. Flygon EX is only dealing 130, minus 30 resistance, so 100 damage to Pidgeot EX. And they're going to counter Catcher Latias EX. Thankfully, its ability allows all basic Pokemon, including itself, to have 0 retreat cost, so we just retreat it. My opponent will grab Iono. That will reduce our hand to 4. They get 6 cards in their hand, and they get to set up Charmander. So my opponent's still in this game, and the more prizes we take, actually, the more powerful their Charizard EX becomes. So we do have to watch out for that. I mean, I could just retreat Latias EX. Could attack for 100. We're not knocking out their Pidgeot EX, but at least it's something. And then I'm going to retreat back to Mimikyu. If they manage to evolve into Charizard EX, again, they cannot go through our defenses. We should be safe. That is unless my opponent can grab boss orders, counter catchers. We are ahead in price, so we could definitely use counter catchers. And then just target one of our benched Pokemon. So at 2 prizes that we've already taken, my opponent should be dealing 240 damage. So they can knock out Rotom V and Latias EX if they have a boss orders, and if they can evolve into Charizard EX this turn. I mean, they got a Charizard EX, they just need a rare candy, they can evolve, and it will energize itself. However, they need to get through this Mimikyu. They need Canceling Cologne or something to target our other Pokemon if they want to deal any damage. They will attach an energy, and they will retreat to another Charmander. Okay. So they're going to sacrifice this one. Could just boss this guy and just gatekeep my opponent. Reversing Storm one more time to get another knockout against their Charmander. My opponent must be frustrated since we're not allowing them to evolve into Charizard EX. And there it is, Charizard EX. One finally gets through. And with Infernal Rain ability, they can search their deck for up to 3 basic fire energies, attach it to Charizard or any of their Pokemon in any way they like, but they only attached 1 and then attach for turn from their hand. They're gonna set up another Charmander on their bench, and they need something to gust up one of our benched Pokemon. So with Arven, they're gonna get Nest Ball, and for Sealstone, get Pheasantipity EX. We did knock out one of their Pokemon, so Flip the Script can be used to help them draw 3 cards. And there it is, Counter Catcher. They target our Flygon EX. And at 3 prizes, they're dealing 270 damage. Not quite enough to knock out Flygon EX. But yeah, Charizard EX with 330 HP, that's a lot of HP to get through. We did get Brute Bonnet though. Hey, we can poison them. And Perilous Jungle? Oh, that's right, it is a dark type. So yeah, Perilous Jungle is actually not affecting Charizard EX to increase poison. But I mean, the poison chip damage does make a big difference, right? But 130 damage, Flygon retreats back to Mimikyu. They've used up 2 counter catchers already and 1 boss orders. It really depends on how many gusting options my opponent put in this build. But if they don't have enough, you're gonna have a tough time getting through our Mimikyu safeguard ability. Okay, they have Rotom V. They have 4 Sealstone of their own. They could definitely grab any card from their deck and then probably just boss up my Flygon EX to knock it out. And the potential problem here is I don't have any other Flygon EX lineup. Our bench is fully... It's full. We can't set up anything, especially Pidgeot EX, man. We do have the rare candy. And my opponent finally got their boss orders. There it is. They will take a knockout against Flygon EX. They will get 2 prizes. And yeah, it's never over until you're 100% sure it's over. My opponent managed to set up and recover from our initial setup there. I thought we were able to gatekeep them, but yeah, if my opponent can gust up my Trapinch, it's gonna be difficult for me to recover from that. This is anybody's game, guys, because again, my opponent can just deal one-hit knockouts after taking so many prizes. And speaking of, that Radiant Charizard is actually not affected by that safeguard. It only blocks EX and V Pokemon attacks, so they can just use Radiant Charizard, knock out Mimikyu, and that's it. However, they need 2 energies to actually for it to attack. They have rare candy. They could evolve into another Charizard EX. They could fully energize that Radiant Charizard, attack our Mimikyu. But they do need to retreat this Charizard EX. They will lose all that energy. But no, they're just gonna attack. But again, Mimikyu is immune to their damage. Okay, our Trapinch survives. Unbelievably so. But we got an Arven to get an Ultra Ball and get Binding Mochi. Could discard these 2 to get my Flygon EX. Evolve into Flygon EX. We have Neo Opera Energy. I mean, we only need 1. Let's see here. Charizard EX only has 160 HP left. We could even knock it out. Because with Biting Mochi, but I don't want to poison it because then they can knock it out. But actually, you know what, guys? I could use Sonic Peridot because I need 3 more prizes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to use Sonic Peridot. Deal 100 damage to Charizard EX and to those EX and V Pokemon that are not immune. So Pidgeot EX is not a Terra Pokemon, so it can get damaged. Fezandipity can get damaged, and also Rotom V. This is awesome. I never thought I would be able to use Sonic Peridot, actually. So this is awesome. If I attack next turn, I can't knock out their Fezandipity EX, but Rotom V only has 90 HP left, and Pidgeot EX only has 80 HP left. They will use Prime Catcher though, but that's alright. We can retreat any of our Pokemon anyways, and our next turn will guarantee for us to get all 3 prizes. They will retreat their Charizard EX, but you know what? We can knock out their Pidgeot and their Rotom V. Dude. We even got Counter Catcher! That's insane! So we can even knock out their Charizard EX, Rotom V, Pidgeot. That's 6 prizes, guys! That's 6 prizes! Good game. Alright, moving on to our last match. We actually managed to win the coin flip again, and we get to go first. We got Latias, we got Brute Bonnet and Pidgey. My opponent mulligans. And that's good, we get 1 extra card. And we got PECHARUNT. Nice. So, it is our turn. We got an Arven. We can't use support cards on our first turn. But, we can grab... We don't have Rotom V, so... I'm just gonna get Trapinch. End my turn. I could get my Rotom V with Hisuian Heavy Ball. That's why it's very, very important that you include at least 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball in your deck, especially if you have one-of Pokemon in your deck. It's really important that you are able to get that from your prizes. Otherwise, you'll have to knock out Pokemon before you can get to the Pokemon that you need that is prized. But with all those fire energies being discarded, I have a feeling this is a Ceruledge EX, which is very popular nowadays. I actually have to showcase this very, very deadly attacker. The more energies you have in the discard pile, the more powerful your attack gets. And for just a single fire energy, Ceruledge EX is very, very powerful. Even has the potential to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game. So I used their Pokestop, but ended up just discarding a bunch of cards, which is it's just not good. Let me go ahead and use Arven then, get Rare Candy, and I have Earthen Vessel to attack, I guess. Power up my attack. I can use Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. We have PECHARUNT, so I can even poison my opponent's Pokemon. Discard that, get the energy, and then we have Ancient Booster. We can retreat our Latias EX, and we can take a knockout against this Radiant Greninja. Exactly 130 damage to knock it out. We got a Iono, perfect. So we even have a draw support for our next turn. So my opponent manages to evolve into Ceruledge EX. They just need a fire energy to power up its attack. And yeah, they can just knock out our PECHARUNT. It only has 80 HP, so it's easy to knock out. But then again, if my opponent has boss orders, Abyssal Flames already doing 270 damage. That's only on their second turn. That's crazy. And yeah, there's no nothing to hold it back from dealing so much damage. Again, thankfully we got an Iono. Alright, we got another Rare Candy. That's awesome. So we can evolve into Pidgeot EX. Got Mimikyu. I could block their attack with Mimikyu. At least I have that option. Alright, let's go ahead and use Quick Search. And let's see what we need here. Just get Binding Mochi to increase our attack. And then we have Night Stretcher. So, as of right now, I think I'm just gonna prepare another Flygon EX, just in case. Poison both active Pokemon, and with Flygon EX Poison, that increases our attack by 40 more damage, so 170. That's crazy, 170. And Poison, right? So now they cannot damage our Mimikyu. While this deck is meant to poison with a hit and run, definitely having that option to wall off your opponent's attacks, it's I think pretty useful. So having Mimikyu, at least a Mimikyu in this deck is pretty good. I thought of using Ogerpon, but that one loses 2 prizes if your opponent can get through it, so at least Mimikyu only loses 1 prize. So, they cannot attack, they retreat their Ceruledge because they're afraid of losing it, but they will lose it anyways. I could get boss orders to boss it up again. Go ahead and just work my way into evolving another Flygon, just in case. And since they put this Charcadet in the active, I could just knock it out. So that will eliminate another backup attacker for my opponent. All they have is Mew, EX, and Ceruledge. If they attack with Ceruledge, they can't damage my Mimikyu. They need a boss orders. And I think that's the downside of Ceruledge. It focuses on a lot of firepower, but if you don't have any means to draw into the cards you need, like boss orders, you get into this really bad position where you're just running away because, like with my opponent, they can't even attack because they're just gonna lose their Ceruledge. Slowly but surely, they're powering up Mimikyu, their Mew EX to copy Mimikyu, and just put those 7 damage counters to knock it out, but I'm just gonna go for boss orders, I think, here. Target Ceruledge. This is their most dangerous attacker, and you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm just gonna attack, and then I'm gonna fully power up another Flygon EX here. So now they have 2 that they have to worry about, and since they don't have any other strong attackers, I will take a knockout against Ceruledge EX, and I'm gonna retreat to Pidgeot EX. Even if they use Mew EX to copy an attack, they're only dealing 120 damage to Pidgeot EX. So we're not gonna die from our attack. Mimikyu will be safe on the bench. Pidgeot EX has 0 retreat cost, so we're gonna retreat next turn. And yeah, with no Charcadets on the bench, I was assuming they had more. They have 2 in the discard pile. And they're gonna genome hacking to copy our attack. And they're only dealing 120 damage. And they had a choice whether or not to discard the stadium, but they're gonna go and preserve that. So we need 2 more prizes. We go ahead and retreat to Flygon EX again. Quick search for Perilous Jungle. I'm just trying to end this match as soon as possible. Alright, 3 damage counters thanks to Perilous Jungle. Reversing Storm for 140. We retreat. They're at 170. And if they attack with Mew EX, that poison's just gonna knock it out. And that's gonna be game. Oh, they're just gonna attack. And you know what, guys? That's gonna be game. And there you have it. Flygon EX with poison damage is a very toxic combo. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.